Hello guys, today we're going to study 2.3 linear functions and slopes. Example 1 we have using the definition slope. Perhaps you can pause this video and then take a look at the definition. So I'm just go ahead and start solving this. Okay, so I'll give you 2 points. I want you to find the slope. So I'm going to label this as my x1 and here is my x2. Then here we have y1 and y2. Okay, part A, so slope is just going to give us, that will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So all you have to do is just do a substitution. So y2, that will be 4 minus y1 is -1, okay, over -2 minus, okay, -3. So then you simplify, you're going to have 5 over -2 plus 3, that's just going to be 1, and then you're going to have 5. That is your slope for your first 2 points. Okay, part B, you do exactly the same. I'm going to skip this. Let's go ahead and work on example 2. Before we work on example 2, this is something you need to memorize. Okay, so it's really basic. So if you have a slope greater than 0, so you're going to have this going to be rising, okay, and then if you have slope less than 0, then you're going to have decreasing, and then you have a horizontal line, that means m is equal to 0, and then vertical line, that means your slope is undefined. Also here we have a point slope form. Again, you can pause it, write it down. That will be y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. Let's take a look at example 2. So example 2, I want you to write the equation in the point slope form for the line with slope 4, okay? That means your m equals 4 that passes through this point. I'm going to label this x1, y1, okay? So here is my corresponding x1, y1. So all you have to do is just going to write down the formula. That will be y minus y1 equal to, okay, assume you don't remember this, so I'm going to copy it down. So all I'm doing is a substitution. So I'm going to have y minus, alright, y1 is equal to 3, and then m we said is 4, and then we have x minus x1, that will be -1, okay? So let me just highlight it really quick. So the rest of the stuff is just going to simplify it. That will be y minus 3 equals 4 times x plus 1. Okay, because I want you to write the equation in the point slope form, so this is a point slope form, so that is your solution. For the second part, once we find this equation, then solve the equation for y. So now we're going to solve for y. So when you're solving for y, all you have to think is we're going to move this -3 to the other side. That will be y equal to, okay, 4 times x plus 1. I'm just going to add this both sides. And then we'll do a distribution. So we're going to have a 4x plus 4 and then plus 3. And then we simplify this. That will be 4x plus 7. That is the second part of your question. Example 3. Write an equation in point slope form for the line passing through the point. We have 2 points right here. Then solve the equation for y. Okay, so here we have a graph. Even without a graph, you should be able to do this, okay? So first of all, we need to find our slope. Because we have 2 points, okay? So if you can do example 1, that means you know how to find the slope. The slope equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All you're doing is just going to do a substitution. So that's going to be 6 minus -3 over -2 minus 4. So simplify this, it's going to be 9 over -6. So that will be -3 over 2. Okay, so that is our slope. Once we have our slope, so you can use any point. I'm just going to use this point for -3. I'm just going to write down the point slope form. So now we just have to do a substitution. So here we have y minus y1, alright, that will be -3. And then my slope I just found right here, that will be -3 over 2 times x minus x1, alright, that is 4. So that is how we plug in. Let me go ahead highlight it. So now we're going to simplify it. So we're going to have y plus 3 equals negative 3 over 2 times x minus 4. That is our first part of the question, write the equation. So this is the first part. Once we have this, they want you again to solve the equation for y. I'm just going to move this 3 to another side. That will be subtract 3. I'm going to have y equal to negative 3 over 2 x minus 4, and then subtract 3 both sides. Of course, you can do this distribution first if that you prefer. It really doesn't matter. So that will be y equal to negative 3 over 2x. Okay, so I'm doing a distribution, and that will be plus, that will be 12 over 2, right? It actually just going to be 6. So minus 3. So we have negative 3 over 2x, and then this is 6 minus 3, it's just going to be 3. So this is your second part of the question. So before we move on, I want to mention something. Here we use the first point, 4 and negative 3. If you're going to use negative 2 and 6, you should be able to get exactly the same answer. Okay, I just picked the first one since I already labeled it as x1 and y1. So before I move on to example 4, we're going to write down what is the slope-intercept form. So here, m is just our slope, okay? And then b is just our y-intercept. Example 4, graphing using the slope and y-intercept. So we need to first know is this is my y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to write it down. This is my y-intercept at 2. And then this portion is our m. M is the slope, which is negative 3 over 2. So I can write this as negative 3 and then over 2. So I'm going to make sure I recall this as rise over run. So let's go ahead and graph this by using the slope and y-intercept. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to start at y-intercept 2. So this is my 2. Okay, so from here I'm going to look negative 3. That means I need to starting here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 down, okay? Because negative 1, 2, 3. Now from here, I'm going to run because it's the positive. I'm going to go right and 2. So I'm count here, I'm going to write as a 2. So then I have my second point, okay? Again, if you look at this, I did, since it's negative 3, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. And then from there, I'm going to go right side 1, 2, because it's a positive 2. Okay, maybe I'll change the color. It's kind of hard to see. So then from here we have 2 points. I'm just going to connect those 2 points to draw a line. Okay, so you complete this question. So make sure if on your tests and quizzes, if they ask you to graphing use the slope and y-intercept, you must use this method. Okay, you can't use plugging the points to do this. You must follow the direction, get full points. Okay, here we have example 5 and 6. So now we want to graph the equation of a horizontal line, all right, and the equation of a vertical line. They're very straightforward. So I have a graphing y equals negative 4. If you can just remember this, y equal to a constant number, you're always going to produce a horizontal line. So in this case, negative 4. Let me go ahead and graph it. So here we have the horizontal line, y equals negative 4. Example 6, and then for the vertical line, anytime we have x equal to a constant number, so you're going to have vertical line. So let's go ahead and move on to the next type of question. So here we have another form. It's called the general form of the equation of a line. So we have ax plus by plus c equals 0 form. You can pause this video and write this down. Example 7. Finding the slope and the y-intercept given to you 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0, which is the general form. Okay, so I can copy this down. 3x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. So all they want you to do is, In the end, we want you to write as y equal to mx plus b form. Okay, so that is your goal. Let's go ahead and see how we do this. So in this case, give you a general form. All you have to do is solving for y. So we've done this many times, right? So if we're going to move something to another side of the equation, we'll just change the sign. So this is going to be 2y equal to, okay, move this to another side. That will be negative 3x. And then again, we're moving this negative number to another side and become positive 4. You can perhaps subtract 3x both sides, add 4 both sides. You can do the same thing. You get exactly the same answer. So we're going to divide by 2 both sides. So then that will be 2 and 2 there are going to be canceled. So I'm going to have y equal to negative 3 over 2x plus 4 over 2. That will be 2. So that is your slope and y-intercept form. Okay, so that's your m, and then there's your y-intercept. Okay, so you are done. So example 8, using the intercepts to graph a linear equation. Be careful on this question, okay? So for this type of question, it says intercepts. So that means you need to find the x-intercepts. You also need to find the y-intercepts, okay? So we have to find the both, then to graph this. So let's go ahead and see how we find this. If we need to find the x-intercept, that means we're going to plug 0 for y, okay? It's 3 times 0 minus 6 equals 0, okay? So then we're going to solve it. That will be 4x equal to 6, and then x equal to 3 over 2, which is around 1.5. And then now we're going to finding the y-intercept. When you're finding the y-intercept, you're just going to plug in 0 for x. Or you can say y-intercept, we're going to set x equals 0. And then this is going to set y equals 0. Okay, so which means it's 4 times 0 minus 3y minus 6 equals 0. So then all we have to do is to solve for y. That will be y equal to negative 2. Our x-intercept is 1.50, and our y-intercept is 0, negative 2. So we plug in those 2 points, then we connect them, and then form a line. That is our final answer for this graph. Please be careful on your Math Excel if they want you to use intercepts. If you use other method, you'll count it wrong. Okay, make sure to read your question on your test. So here we have all the different forms. Please make sure to pause this video, write this everything down, so that way you know which form to use on your tests and quizzes. Thank you for watching the video. Please make sure always ask questions if you struggle, and I'll see you guys next time.